Hello everyone, I'm Richard, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through my solution for a common pain point we all have, a very long personal task list and not enough time in the day. If you watch this video and adopt some or all of the method, I'm confident you'll realize several benefits, including reduce missed tasks, maximize your effectiveness by working on the most important tasks first, minimize distractions and task switching, and generally experience less anxiety because you'll have a detailed execution plan each day. And I say all of that with confidence because with decades of experience successfully managing complex projects, I've tried many different tools and processes for personal task management and have refined this method to be efficient and effective, resulting in tasks being structured, prioritized, and scheduled. With that said, we'll now walk through how to accomplish each result. To accomplish structure, we need to make 5 key decisions for how we will manage and organize tasks. Software. For this method, you will need 2 apps, a calendar and a spreadsheet. I use Outlook and Smartsheet, but any similar apps will suffice. Time frame. To mitigate becoming overwhelmed by staring at a very long list of tasks, I split everything I have to do into short-term and long-term tasks. Any task due within 2 weeks goes into my short-term list, and everything else goes into my long-term list. This isn't a strict rule, so if you think a different time frame is more appropriate, go with that. The short-term list is my focus for daily task planning. Planning time. Decide on a consistent time block of 15 to 30 minutes at the end of each day to plan your tasks for the next day. This lets you start the next day focused on executing. Intake. To avoid missing tasks, identify your official channels for intaking new requests so you can check them consistently. For me, these are verbal requests, project plans, meetings, email, and MS Teams. Categorization. To avoid the confusion of viewing a random list of tasks, I group my tasks into related categories. Common categories include projects and processes. I also recommend a general category that serves as a catch-all for tasks that don't fit under an existing category. With those decisions made, let's now walk through the spreadsheet where we will track and prioritize tasks. The first column is status. I set up this column to have a drop-down with options that will also automatically update the color of the row. The color coding helps me know what is going on with my list at a glance without reading the specific statuses. The status and color coding are as follows. Not started has no color and is for newly added tasks to the list that have not yet been reviewed. Queued is yellow and is for tasks that have been reviewed and prioritized. In progress is orange and is used for only the one task that I am focused on executing. Pending is green and is for tasks where I am waiting for a dependent action to complete. And done is gray with the font strike through. For the priority column, I use a red exclamation mark for high priority and a blue down arrow for low priority. Alternatively, you can simply just enter the words high and low. High priority tasks are those due same day or as soon as possible. Low priority tasks don't need my attention for a few days. If the task's priority falls somewhere in between, I just leave the cell blank. The rank column is critical to success. We all have many things we need to do in a limited amount of time, so it is imperative that we are judicious in the use of that time and we plan the order we will accomplish our work. Prioritization is a whole other discussion, but for this context, I will recommend that you reference a higher level prioritization to help inform your ranking. So, for example, your organization will have annual goals. Determine which of your tasks drive progress towards those annual goals and prioritize them first. In this example, Project B is my highest priority, so I've ranked those 2 tasks 1 and 2. My next priority is Project A, so I've ranked those tasks 3 and 4. And then I have a general low priority task here, and I've ranked that last at 5. The task name column is where I enter my categories of work and their associated subtasks. I suggest writing your tasks in a way that specifically describes the result you will deliver, as seen in these examples. This mitigates any questions about what you need to do for a task when you come back to it after a while. My categories are colored a dark blue with white bolded text. Under each of these categories, I enter and nest related subtasks. This is helpful as it allows me to visually see which tasks belong to which category. I can also roll up categories if I don't need to see the subtasks. Each main category also has a completed bucket, where I archive all of my completed tasks for reference if needed. Next, I use the deadline column to enter the date I need to complete the task or when I plan to complete it. Progression is a visual indicator column I only use for complex tasks that have multiple handoffs between me and other people. Since this is my personal to-do list, I do not include tasks owned by other people. I just use a pie chart symbol to indicate how far along I think the task has progressed, but you could simply use a percent complete system like 25%, 50%, and so forth. The last column is comments. I use this column to enter important notes about the tasks that help me remember what I need to do or what I'm waiting for. Now that we've structured and prioritized our tasks, we then need to schedule them. I found that scheduling my tasks for the next day helps maximize my productivity because it establishes a game plan I can focus on executing against as soon as I walk in the door the following morning. By giving every hour a purpose, I can minimize the distractions from emails, phone calls, and so forth. Now, let's walk through the scheduling process. I first split my browser to show both my task sheet and calendar. In this example calendar, I already have my meetings, breaks, and end-of-day task time planning set. I'll schedule my task around these times. I then go to my day view for the next day. In this case, it's Sunday, and I'm planning for Monday. Next, I'm going to go to my sheet and estimate my rank 1 task, which is project charter drafted and emailed to steering committee members. Looking at my calendar, I figure this is going to take me from between 8 to 9:30 to get it all done. So I'm going to copy the text from my sheet and I'm going to create an invite, paste in the text, save that, and then adjust the duration. I then repeat this scheduling process for other ranked tasks in order of priority. With all my ranked tasks scheduled, I see I have a 30-minute block of availability from 4 to 4:30. In this case, I'm going to go back to my sheet and see what else is on my list. Under system support, I have several tickets. 2 are pending actions from others, and 1 I have yet to review. So I'm going to create a system support work event from 4 to 4:30 to progress those tickets towards resolution. With all my short-term tasks scheduled and my calendar for the day booked, I'm now done with the task planning process and ready to execute my plan for the next day. Now that we've walked through the details of structuring, prioritizing, and scheduling, here are the 10 steps to put it all together, starting with your task planning time. 1. Review intake sources to identify new tasks. 2. Determine if each task is short or long-term and add them to the appropriate lists. 3. Enter each short-term task under the related work category. 4. Review each task for priority and mark high, low, or leave blank. 5. Enter any deadlines either assigned or self-imposed. 6. Rank your tasks in order of priority. 7. Update the status of each task. 8. Schedule your tasks by placing them as events in your calendar. 9. Execute your task in order of rank. 10. Update your task sheet and calendar as necessary. Then repeat this process before each workday. In conclusion, I hope you learned some new valuable tools to help you manage your personal tasks, or at the very least found validation in what you're already doing. If you have your own tips to share or a question, I encourage you to leave a comment. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a reaction. And if you think this video could be helpful to others, please share. Thank you for watching.